So today we are going to be learning one more part under abiotic factors. So that is said to be as adaptation. So during abiotic factors like sunlight, temperature, water and soil. So these acting as an external factor when they are affecting on the body of the organism is going to be surviving at its minimal need. If it exceeds or if it decreases, the organism cannot survive. So at that time, the organisms are going to be modifying their organs or modifying their behaviors or living from one place to the other place for its survival. So to avoid these all stresses like either hibernation, estivation, diapause. So to avoid this, the organisms will go for adaptation, whether it may be a plant, it may be an animal, it may be a bacteria, whatever that organism may be. So that is said to be as adaptation. So adaptation is nothing but attribute of an organism. Attribute means change itself, changing itself. So attribute of an organism in physiological, morphological and behavioral for its survive and reproduce. ಈ 5 ವರ್ಡ್ಗಳು ಬಹಳ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. 1 ಮಾರ್ಕಿಗೆ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಅನ್ನು ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಡಾಪ್ಟೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ 1 ಮಾರ್ಕಿಗೆ ಕೇಳಬಹುದು. ಸೊ ಅವಾಗ ಪರ್ಫೆಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಫ್ ಡೆಫಿನೇಷನ್ ರೈಟಿಂಗ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಎಸೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್. ರೈಟಿಂಗ್ ದ ಪರ್ಫೆಕ್ಟ್ ಡೆಫಿನೇಷನ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಹಿಯರ್. ಸೊ attribute of an organism in its physiological, morphological and behavioral for its survive and to reproduce is called as adaptation. Say some of the examples, we will go for that. One itself is said to be a kangaroo rat. These kangaroo rats are available in North America. You know very well that North America consists of largest desert. I don't know what is the name of the desert, only the student has to remember. This is the need level question. So North America consists of a desert. In that desert we will get a type of a rat called as a kangaroo rat. Its tail is very long, the body is consist of a small black hairs. It never go for drinking water. Can you imagine? In the desert it is not going to be drinking the water. What does it mean? Then how it is going to get adapted itself? Very simple. Physiologically when it go for eating its nuts that contains the fat, during the oxidation of the fat there will be the release of water. That much of water is enough for survival of this kangaroo rat. See how beautifully we can learn that how much is essential, that much only we have to drink water. You people are wasting the water like anything. Because of that, water level floods are going to be occur. It is in a balance in nature. Right? In this, so kangaroo rat never go for drinking the water in its survival, and it is going to be meeting its water content during the oxidation of fat. So in 1 mark in prashna ಕೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, how kangaroo rat is maintain its water balance or osmoregulation. That is very simple. That is during the oxidation of a fat molecule there will be the release of water, and that much water is enough for its survival. Whereas the second one is that need level question, it's a loop of Henle. You know very well that the kidney will be there. This is a mammal, and this kidney consists of a structural and a functional unit called as a nephron, and these nephron are the important filtrative of blood. During that there will be the formation of an urine. In that the loop of Henle will be there, and that loop of Henle is very long in this kangaroo rat. During that reabsorption of water will take place. So urine get very concentrated. To throw the urine it use less water. These are the two important why the kangaroo rat are going to be adopted. for desert. Like the same, in the desert area, some of the desert plants will be there. Desert plant, whenever we will ask you about the desert plant, the term comes is Opuntia. Papas Kalli, Dabu Kalli, Anta Karikira, Kalli Gida Anta Karikira. So that Opuntia who have flat blade, that is the stem, on that the spine-like structure will be there. Those spines are leaves. So morphological adaptation. Leaves get modified into spine. Why leaves get modified into spine? If the leaves are flattened, the sun rays will fall and water evaporation is very easy. Loss of water is maximum. So leaves get converted into spines. Then how does photosynthesis will take place? A specialized photosynthesis in the first PUC you have been studied. CAM, Crustacean acid metabolism. You will be knowing about the crans anatomy, most of the important questions. So these are the relevant and the relationship for a NEET level as well as a theoretical aspect. The student has to remember these points. That's all. So let me to tell you once again, desert plant like Opuntia, their stem is going to be synthesizing the food material, and these leaves are going to become modified into spines, and the stomatas are sunken deeply present, and these stomatas are always kept closed during the daytime. This is the most important. Their stomata is always kept closed during daytime. That is why during the daytime they cannot go for synthesizing the food substance. So during the night side they are going to be synthesizing the food. So we call them as a dark reaction, Kelvin's reaction. There you have been studied CAM pathway called as Crustacean acid metabolism, that is followed by this desert. So this is a free water method. Whereas second, if you go towards the Arctic region, either South Pole or North Pole, if you will go to the North Pole, Arctic, and South Pole, Arctic, and Antarctic, you know very well. So there, the ocean is going to be get converted into snow itself because of a very lowest temperature, -4 degree, -8 degrees Celsius will be there. And over the snow surface area, below that water, the fishes are there. How they are going to be survived? Above that snow bear will be there, eel will be there. How they are going to be survived? So those organisms, the body of the organism is long. Their ears are very small. Their limbs are very short. The limbs are short and ears are small. Why? To avoid temperature. If the legs are small, surface area of the skin reduce. When surface area of the skin reduce, loss of heat is reduced. Right? So legs are legs. Instead of legs, we have to use the word limbs. Limbs, small or short limbs and small ears are found in polar region. Why? A why type of a give reasoning question is going to be asking in your final examination for 1 mark. Very simple, to avoid loss of heat. So that is called as Allen's rule. Allen is a scientist who have been found this stated to be as an Allen's rule. So Allen's rule states that in colder region the animals have short limbs and small ears to reduce the loss of the heat is called as Allen's rule. That is where if we go for the certain other things like altitude now, like a Himalayan ranges, like in Manali, Peru, Kuru, like such as places where they're in Manali. If you will go towards the Tamil Nadu in Ooty, so higher altitude is nothing but 2,500 feet above the sea level. Below the sea level pressure is very high. Above the sea level pressure go on decreases. However, the pressure go on decreases, availability of oxygen decreases. So, however, we will go to the high altitude, availability of oxygen decreases. When availability of oxygen decreases, your rate of respiration increases. When you will take 1 liter of air in it, hardly 10 ml of oxygen is available. 990 ml of other gases will be there. Only 10 ml of oxygen. And our body need maximum oxygen. At that time, the body produces RBCs to meet oxygen level. So that is called as altitude sickness. Most important question for 1 mark, 2 mark, 3 mark or 5 mark. They were going to be asked any time. What is altitude sickness? Explain the altitude sickness. Just they will ask what is them define altitude sickness in that way. So most important one it is. So altitude sickness is nothing but the temperature, the pressure, atmospheric pressure. As you know very well that 760 mmHg is the normal atmospheric pressure on the ground floor. If below the ground, below the plane, we are standing on the earth, below the plane, the ocean will be there. However, we will go, the atmospheric pressure increases, However, we will go above this ground level, altitude, the pressure decreases. However, the pressure decreases, the oxygen level decreases. So decrease in the oxygen level increases the rate of respiration because of availability of oxygen. To meet it, the body produces red blood corpuscles or erythrocytes to meet hemoglobin content. So at that time, if the person could not meet it, they will start reeling. One. Second, they will start vomiting. Two. Third, they start palpitation. Heartbeat rate is more. Then fourth is vomit sensation will be there. ಇವಾಗ ನೀವು ಈ ತಿರುಪತಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಗುಡ್ಡಗಳನ್ನ ಏರಿ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಬಸ್ ಹತ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ವಾಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಆಗ ಬರಲ್ಲ. ಕಾರ್ಬನ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಇದ್ದು, ಸಲ್ಫರ್ ಡೈಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್ ಇದ್ದು, ಬಸ್ಸಿನ ಸ್ಮೆಲ್ಗೆ, ಏನು ಕೆಲವರಿಗೆ ಟ್ರೈನ್ ಆಗಿ ಬರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಮೆಲ್ಗೆ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದೇ ಆರ್ ಅಲರ್ಜಿ ಅನ್ಬೋದು. ಬಟ್ ಹೇಗೆ ಮೇಲ್ ಹೋಗ್ತಿರೋ ಅವಾಗ ಆಕ್ಸಿಜನ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್ ಕಡಿಮೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಕೆಲವು ಜನ ವಾಮಿಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ, ತಲೆ ಸುತ್ತದ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಲಿಂಬೆ ನಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ, ಮೆಡಿಸಿನ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ. ಇಟ್ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ಸ್. Adaptability it is. So that is called as altitude sickness. Then how body cooperate with this altitude? It produces more number of RBCs. That's all to reach the oxygen level. So that is in Rohtang Pass nearby Manali, the highest peak level. As you know very well, Himalayan peak level in Nepal. Yes, very high peak level. However, if you are going to be reaching there, it will become very difficult for survival. So in this way, whereas some of the organisms, as we have been discussed about, say for example, a mango tree is there. Mango tree is going to be not moving from one place to another place, but it is not going to be even growing in the temperate region. And when the sunlight is more, it produces transpiration, loss of excess of water. From that, body get to become cool. That is why during summer season, below the canopy of the tree, you feel cold because the loss of water will be there. Water droplets are present in the atmosphere. So we feel cold compared to the direct sunlight. That is an adaptation of that kind. And as I said in the previous clip about this garden lizard called as a calotes, donnecata, oticata, it go for basking in the sunlight. When it reduces its sunlight, it will bask. When temperature increases, again it will go into the shade. This is its day-to-day routine because of its survival. So the attributes of an organism, morphologically, physiologically, and behavioral, for its survival and to reproduce, is called as adaptation. So that is, whereas in the next clip we'll go for studying the other part. Okay, thank you for